And we are back, and we just finished watching a Oscar contender for animated feature. It's 2023's Elemental, rated PG, with a runtime of 1 hour and 41 minutes. This is currently streaming on Disney Plus and is directed by Peter Sohn, with writing credits to John Hoberg, Likkel and Brenda Hsueh. This is the story of Ember, voiced by Leah Lewis, who grows up in, I guess, an immigrant family and feels that she's destined to take over the family business from her parents, who have made numerous sacrifices for her, and how when she meets Wade
Ripple or something.
Wade Ripple. That's a crazy name. Ember Ripple. If they got married, Ember Ripple. Mr. and Mrs. Ripple. That's so weird.
The hell?
Yeah.
It's just a name, guys.
Okay, fair enough.
It's not just a name.
Olivia, it's just a name. Be quiet, little bro.
And how when she meets Wade, her world changes. I'm going to go around the table and get impressions. I'm going to start with you, Olive G. What did you think of the film?
I thought it was good, even though Wade had like negative riz.
But
I think it's that kind of movie.
That Clark kid has like.
Well, obviously, but she was into it, so it was like he.
Yeah, she wasn't into Claude. She was definitely into Wade.
It would be
Claude
weird
was a
if she was
child.
into Claude. Claude was exactly. He was a little baby.
But he tried to get with her.
He tried really hard.
He certainly tried.
He was a soldier.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
That is a before Wade.
Did you have a favorite character, Olive G?
There really was only 2 characters.
What are you talking about?
I mean, there's more.
The other characters barely did anything.
Bernie, the father. I feel like he's an important character.
The film revolved around Ember and Wade.
That's true.
Did you like Ember or Wade better, Olivia?
I like Ember and Wade. Wade was a wet rag.
There you go.
He was wet.
He
that's
was
for
a
sure.
loser.
Did you?
Calm down.
What did you think of the story in relations to? Because I feel like we don't really see love stories in Pixar movies. Like this is definitely like the relationship between Ember and Wade.
Yeah,
like the blossoming of this relationship. And it's kind of interesting because you don't really see romances attached to a Pixar film, but at its core, this is a love story.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the idea of being true to yourself and choosing your path, not having it dictated by things that you think your parents want for you, but to actually embrace and do the things that you want to do. There's also the whole migration story. Mm-hmm. So it touches on various themes, but I think at its core, it's a love story. It's a love story between 2 opposites who come together and complement each other very well.
Yeah, I would agree with
So what did you think of that? I mean, again, not typical Pixar fare, but this is a romance story.
What, me?
Yes, you. I'm still talking to you.
Oh, I thought you were talking to Dad.
No.
No, I was just chiming in. What did you think of the romance between Ember and Wade?
Did you think they were going to make it?
Honestly,
Sure.
I kind of hope they did it.
Why would you say that?
Olivia was so horrible to watch this movie with. Worst viewing partner ever. The constant I hope they break up or whatever.
I was just joking.
I wonder if you were joking. I mean, she's got a point here.
Honestly, you said, not gonna lie, guys. I wish that they'd broken up, but calm down.
Yeah, or that one bit where you were like, I hope she kills herself.
Because I thought she was gonna kill us.
That would be hilarious.
That would be
No,
terrible.
it wouldn't. That would be terrible.
Acceptable.
Yeah.
Nephew.
That's different, but I don't know. So, did you answer the question?
Oh, which one?
What did you think of the romance?
It was okay.
Was it earned? Do you think it was sort of earned?
Yeah.
Yeah. In the beginning, did you think they would be together, or Because they really seem to dislike each other in the beginning. Well, she disliked him
for a long time. He seemed kind of go with the flow sort of dude. And you could see, like, he's very taken with her, even from the start.
Yeah.
But do you like to see romances in your Pixar movies, Olive G?
It's unusual.
It is unusual.
Yes.
It is very, very unusual.
But by the end, you feel like it makes sense that those two got together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think that... So it's kind of interesting because in not normal, but traditionally or historically, the woman leaves her family to go with the husband or the man's family or to follow the man and his adventures and journey. But here, she's the one that's taking this internship and he's leaving his life behind to go with her.
Yeah.
Which is also kind of a role reversal.
I guess. But I mean, when you consider from what you know of his character, apparently he was not one to keep a job very long.
Right. There's that. Yeah. But I also feel like, I mean, that's a huge step. I mean, you always hope to find your other half, but to have to pick up and uproot your life to follow them, that's quite a big step.
Yeah, well, I mean, they were both in it together. So.
Sure. But that's the whole romance, I guess, the earned relationship, right? They went through these ups and downs and they came out together. Mm-hmm. Gigi, what did you think of the film?
It was cute.
Yeah, what was so cute about it?
The fact that it was romance.
Were you surprised that was an element of the film? I mean, it's not the only messaging in the film, but it is kind of a big part of the story.
Yeah, no, I wasn't surprised it was there.
No? Okay. Did you have a favorite character?
I guess I'd say Ember.
Ember? Why'd you like Ember?
I thought that she was like, I don't know, I just enjoyed her character. She was very prone to getting angry.
Why did you flag that, her getting angry?
Because I just think that it's like, it's nice to see, like, I like seeing women characters in media get angry.
For any specific reason, or?
I don't know. I just think it's nice.
All right. What did you think of her relationship with Wade?
Whenever I see romance movies, I always feel like awkward with them because it's like I'm spying on private moments.
That's an interesting little...
Even in a film like this where it's a fantastical cartoon?
Yeah, it'll be anything. Like I enjoy reading romances, but I always feel awkward, or watching or reading them. Either way, I always feel awkward.
That's interesting. What did you think of the other parts of the story about Ember's inability to come clean to her dad?
I thought that it was relatable, or it was easy to understand, especially when like it just kept piling up like over and over again. Like it was emphasized over and over again how much he sacrificed, or like when he's like retiring. It was really, really like hard to watch because she was like, she didn't want to take over, but she kind of felt like she had to out of like obligation, and she owed it to them.
Do you feel like you would be put in a position like that, or you would have to kind of...
I don't know about like taking over for either of you because there's nothing that I would be able to take over.
That's true.
If someone was like sacrificing stuff for me and they expected me to do something in return, I probably like wouldn't be able to say no. I'd just feel bad.
But did he expect her to, or was that just her interpretation of things? Because ultimately that wasn't really what he wanted, right? And maybe if she had been honest, they would have had that conversation a long, long time ago.
Yeah. If she had been honest, they could have cleared things up faster. But I understand why she thought that he wanted her to, because he was always like happy talking about her taking over.
That's true. And he made the sign,
yeah.
Right? So I guess he assumed that she would. But I think that if she had said something prior, he probably wouldn't have. And I don't think it would have been a big deal either.
And she made it seem like that's what she wanted.
That's true.
In fact, she didn't even realize it wasn't what she wanted.
Until she talked to Wade about it.
Until she talked to Wade and she realized the reason why she can't connect with any of the customers and why she gets so angry at the drop of a hat is because subconsciously she just doesn't want to
be there.
To do anything with the store. Mm-hmm. These people annoy her. They ask stupid questions. I'll just take the free one. Mm-hmm. I would have I'm with her. I would have blasted that guy in the head with a bat. Just what's so hard about the concept?
How is he an adult not knowing what buy one get one free means?
Yeah,
he was just being a jerk.
It's like,
have you ever worked? Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, if you've ever worked retail, all of that tracked.
Seriously, that guy, he should have been
Beaten.
like, severely beaten. So yeah, as far as like they played it so that everybody, there's no bad guy in this movie.
No.
It's nobody's doing anything for selfish reasons or out of expectations, because the father genuinely felt like, oh, she loves the business. She can't wait to take over. And all her actions seem to imply that. There was never a point where it was like, oh, can you do the deliveries? And she like rolls her eyes or something like that. No, she was excited to do the deliveries. She wanted to show that she could do them faster than he could, or make the charcoal nuts or whatever the hell they were eating. So yeah, there was, when she does realize it does explain a lot, because in the beginning of the movie, there were certain points where she would be getting mad, and I would be like, that seems kind of irrational to get mad at that particular point in time. She's sort of flying off the handle when she shouldn't be. And that explained it.
Yeah.
That it was just because she actually didn't want to be involved with the store. I mean, maybe not involved, but she didn't want to take over.
Yeah.
And I guess that's Wade, who is definitely a guy who is more in touch with his feelings.
Yes.
Perhaps too much.
Too much, yes.
Considering how much he blubbered throughout the entire movie. I mean, that was probably the one thing I didn't enjoy about Wade's character, was the fact that he would be crying constantly.
Well, he is made up of water.
He is made of water, but you didn't see a lot.
Look at
his
the
family
example
blubbered.
that he was growing up with. His mom was like weird with it. I didn't like his mom, if I'm being honest, because there are those two scenes where they're saying goodbye and she started like cradling an imaginary baby, and it was just like weird.
She's like the mom from Step Brothers.
That scene made me like,
well,
mad.
it's played by Catherine O'Hara. So
maybe she's making up for what a terrible mother she was in the
Schitt's
Home
Creek.
Alone franchise.
Oh, that too. Oh, they've been playing those a lot lately.
I've never saw the second one. I saw the second one and I'm just like, how did they let this happen again?
They don't give a crap
They don't
about
give
that
a
kid.
goddamn. And then at the end of the movie, they finally get back together and they're all opening presents. And what does he do? He just sneaks out and goes into Central Park by himself. Oh my God. All right. That's a tangent. Terrible mothering, Catherine O'Hara.
What did you think of the immigrant story?
It was pretty like reflective of, I guess, the real world. I'm guessing that the fire people were either like Greek or Indian or Spanish. I don't know what, but one of the
Indian, because there was like sometimes music played in the background that felt very.
I don't think they were Spanish.
Yeah, I don't think they were Spanish.
Yeah, basically like I guess you would say like one of the cultures that came to this country, if you were doing a parallel to America, came to this country later on. Mm-hmm. Like the first batch of people were Northern European and European and Southern European, and then I guess this is the Mediterranean group or Asia. Mm-hmm. And it makes sense, they sort of, you see that in like the signage when they first arrive to. Did they ever say where they're going? Like what this place is? It's
Element City.
Element City,
which is
I guess Ellis Island, sort of.
Yeah. So you see the first people who arrive are the water people, and then I think the plant people, and then the air people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, they kind of reflected that. It's a kids movie, so they're not going to go into any sort of the really ugly side. I mean, yeah, you see like some minor arguments between people of different elements.
Mm-hmm. Especially water and fire.
The earth people just seem to be fine with everything.
What did you think of the romance in the story?
It was a little, in the beginning, I found it a little bit hard to grasp how they could tolerate being around each other. I didn't really like either character in the beginning.
No.
Ember or Wade. Just because Ember was, like I said, she would fly off the handle for ridiculous reasons. And in my mind, it was sort of like, I don't know, to me that felt very kids cartoonish, where they have like characters who are just like not really characters, they're just an emotion. You see that a lot. And then Wade showed up and he's just blubbering and crying. So you had like anger and sadness. But as the story progressed, you get to learn more about each character and their lives and what their strengths are and what there is to admire about each one of them. And you see how those characters like that in the other and how they help each other and elevate each other. And so the romance felt earned.
There's also a very climactic scene towards the end where you think something really bad has happened to Wade. How did that play out, you think, the way it's done in the film? You can spoil it. I think at this point this money's I think this film has made its money.
Yeah, I knew there would be a happy ending. So I was just sort of like waiting for the happy ending to show up. It didn't really. It wasn't like I was like, oh my God, no, this is like Mr. Bing Bong from
God damn
Inside Out.
Don't bring that up.
He ain't coming back.
Terrible. Terrible.
I heard they're making a sequel. If they somehow resurrect Bing Bong, I will be upset.
Yeah, same. I don't think they would.
Leave it alone.
Yeah. I mean, technically, she should be older. Right?
It's a sacrifice that was so noble and loving and beautiful.
Perfect.
Just do not resurrect Mr. Bing Bong for like a couple of fart jokes or something. Anyway,
resurrects him to be a villain.
No,
that's not possible.
I don't want to see
What
Mr.
if
Bing
he
Bong.
becomes evil?
No.
Don't want to see Mr. Bing Bong.
Yeah.
Olivia, what did you think of that scene when something bad happens to Wade?
I didn't care.
Terrible. Terrible.
I mean, he was obviously gonna come back.
I don't know if it was obvious.
The entire movie's about
To me, it was obvious. There was no way they were going to let him just die.
You know what? This is the first time for all of us to see this film. I thought he was going to come back in a different shape. Maybe like gaseous, like a cloud or something.
But that doesn't happen. They already have cloud people.
I know, but he became steam in that room.
He was vaporized.
Right.
That's different. That's not... The water people, if they get vaporized, they're dead.
How come this guy didn't die?
Because he wasn't.
He's built different.
I guess he just wasn't fully vaporized.
Look at you trying to have an answer for everything.
I'm just going by what was in the movie, where the power of love brought him back.
There you go. That's what it was.
Isn't that actually what happened?
Huey Lewis came out and sang "The Power of Love." And
that's such a great song. Fun fact: the guy who directed this film is the voice actor for Socks from Lightyear.
Oh, really?
Yes, indeed. This movie, I know that the conservatives wanted this to do poorly, but this movie was a budget of $200 million and made overall gross worldwide $496,444,308. That's pretty amazing.
This film did well. I mean, I think even to this day, if you ask people, how did Elemental do? They'll probably, that film bombs. But no, it did well because apparently it didn't have a great opening weekend.
Right.
But it had legs. It just stayed forever.
Yeah.
And it made its money back. So.
Yeah. $30 million or just under $30 million opening weekend in U.S. and Canada. So it doesn't sound like a lot, but over time, this movie made its money back. So it is kind of a hard sell, maybe.
Yeah, because it's not your typical Pixar sort of thing. Pixar doesn't really do the romance sort of stuff. That's usually more on the Disney side of the coin.
Pixar
and I think also
do that.
And also I think the themes itself, like the whole, I mean, they don't really go into the immigrant or the migrant story too much, but it's there. I think
it's definitely a touchstone of the movie.
I think the idea of being true to yourself and following your passion, like stuff like that, maybe we've seen in Pixar movies. But again, the idea of a romance between characters is not something, maybe a friendship, but not a romance. And so this felt very different in that way. But it's done in a very lovely way where it's not salacious or anything, or I mean, it's a kid's film.
It's a kid's movie.
But I think it's also one of those films that an adult can enjoy it. So I think that here you have like a nice piece that's not just for children, but it's done in a way that super young kids can understand what's going on and really grab onto the story. But I think also for adults that are taking these children to the theater or wherever they're taking them to see this, they too can enjoy part of the entertainment. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go around the table and get numbers. I'm going to start with me and give this film a 7. I think from where it starts to where it ends, solid voice acting, solid script, beautiful visuals. Not as beautiful as like Coco. I still feel like that's one of my favorite eye candy Pixar movies. Yeah. But I think that the animation here is top notch. I think this is stronger than some of the previous offerings.
COVID era movies.
Possibly, although they just played Onward, and I forgot how good that was. That's actually pretty.
Isn't Turning Red also good?
Turning Red is also good.
And Luca?
Luca's probably like my least favorite of the COVID movies.
What is wrong with you?
Really? I thought Soul was probably my least favorite.
That too. I think I like this more than Luca or Soul.
Me too.
Yeah, I totally like Elemental more than those.
I think I like Luca more than this.
You don't know what's good. I'm going to give this film a 7. What say you?
I think I'll also give it a 7.
All right. What about you, Gigi?
I'll give it a 7.
Just because of what you just said right now, I'm going to give it a 6.
Why?
Why? I don't even know what's going on with you.
Olivia looked really mad when you said that Luca was not as good as this.
Really?
Olivia
it's cute, but I think I like
you
this.
for like a solid 10 seconds with like
disdain.
Yeah, like genuine disdain.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised too. Luca was good.
Luca was super cute, but I think I like this more.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't dislike it.
Yeah, I didn't. Something really wrong with you.
If Mom didn't say that, what would you have given this movie?
A 7. But my standard still stands a 6 because of what Mom said.
All right.
This would have been a perfect 7 if it weren't for you.
All right. I mean, you're not hurting me in any way.
Secretly all 7s, but a 6 is in there out of pure spite.
Yes. That totally tracks with the way kids act. So, not a 10 like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which we all gave a 10 to. I'm just being funny because I know that your dad doesn't like giving out 10s. We are going to. Yes, he did.
9.9.
No, that's a 10.
It's a 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Unanimous.
Even the
you
other
could feel free to
members
round
at this
it up,
table.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Dad told us in secret that he gave it a 10.
There you go.
Now who's the gaslighter?
We're going to pair this with another Oscar nominee. I haven't decided yet, but I think our theme this weekend is going to be going to the Oscars, I guess. So
is that going on today, or is that next?
No,
week?
March 10th. March 10th. So there's still a couple more weeks, but I kind of want to do kind of like off the cuff sort of categories. So I think I'd like to peruse what's in the documentary category for you and I to delve into.
You're the boss.
Otherwise, maybe, speaking of romance, maybe we could do May, December, because that's nominated, I think, for script.
Is that really romance, or is it just sort of like some sort of twisted thing?
I mean, to somebody, it's a romance.
Not for us.
No. All right, so 7, 7, 7, and a 6.
Secretly a 7, though.
Secretly a 7. Absolutely. I think this is. There wasn't anything objectionable in here, was there?
No, there's some sort of weird warning about. What was it? Like suggestive language?
Yeah.
Because
they're talking about having the hanky panky.
Yes.
They use the term hanky panky, and I think they said
lazy ash.
Lazy ash.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
it says rated PG for some peril, thematic elements, and brief language, which doesn't make any sense.
We're not actually in this movie a 6.5.
6.5. All right. I mean, I think if you can find it, if you have Disney Plus, absolutely check it out. I mean, it's not the best Pixar movie, but it's not bad. I think
it's good.
Yeah, I think
good.
if you've got little kids, it's fun. I think the character design is super cute. The story, I mean, an hour and 41 minutes is not a short amount of time, especially with small children, but I think that this will hold anybody's attention.
Yeah.
And I think there's something for everyone here. Absolutely. So again, nominated for animated feature at this coming Oscars race. Unfortunately, the best picture animated,
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem.
yes, not nominated. What the hell, Academy?
It's an outrage.
Outrageous. Outrageous.
Seriously, that was probably the most creative animation.
Yeah, that and
Of that
Spider-Verse
year.
were the best last
Spider-Verse
year.
was great.
Spider-Verse got
but
nominated.
Spider-Verse
Yeah,
was
I
great,
know.
but we've already seen that kind of animation
Right.
before.
That's true.
Mutant Mayhem was new and interesting.
It
and the story
was.
was awesome. The voice work was amazing.
The voice
we
was
reviewed it
great.
already.
The
I felt like it
characters.
was. I kind of
Characters
felt
are
like
great.
Mutant Mayhem was the same as Spider-Verse.
The animation?
Yeah, kind
They're
of. Like the drawing.
I could see them sort of like being related in that they're not your typical animation. They're sort of like new and there's like a weird sketchiness to both. But Mutant Mayhem was definitely its own thing. Like they weren't trying to rip off Spider-Verse's style of animation.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely
It was
very
definitely-
new.
It was definitely its own
yeah.
thing. It was like it was almost like seeing like what was it, Wolf Walkers?
Yes. Yes.
That was an interesting
the way
type
that
of
was
animation
animated. Yeah.
you
That
don't-
didn't win that year either. I think that went to a Pixar movie. I can't remember. But
I think
nominees.
it's just always going to go to. I think they just hand the envelope to their child
and just give it to Pixar. I mean, so these are the category. So the nominees for this coming Best Animated Feature, Nimona, which was great.
which was good. Yeah, we like that
Really
one.
good. I enjoyed that a lot. Something called Robot Dreams, which I've never even seen or heard of, which probably took Mutant Mayhem's spot, unfortunately. That deserved to get nominated for sure. The Boy and the Heron,
You always got to put Ghibli in there.
yeah. I'm curious to see that. I'm sure once it hits Max, because Max has all the Ghibli stuff. We'll definitely have to check it out. Elemental and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which was fantastic.
Yes.
But I gotta be honest, and don't get me wrong, Spider-Man was great, but pound for pound, story wise, I feel like Mutant Mayhem might have actually been the stronger movie last year.
Yeah.
That might
Just not even based on the animation alone, like the technical, but the story itself.
That might be because Spider-Verse was kind of like incomplete. It was a to be continued type thing.
There's that aspect.
There's
It was
that
like it was
aspect,
more
yes.
build up when Mutant Mayhem was like the whole thing, and it wasn't. I feel like it wasn't like, even if it was just a whole thing in one movie, it wasn't weak or anything.
Yeah.
Not like Spider-Verse was, but if it like
Yeah.
they
It's
got
just
their
not a
point
whole
across.
story.
Yeah. You make a great point. Like, I was just thinking, like, I know I liked Nimona, but I gotta be honest, I don't even remember the story. I know we saw it. I know we reviewed it. I know that we liked it, but it didn't really stay with me. Same thing. Well, no, not same thing, but Spider-Man I remember more.
Yeah.
But I think story-wise, I actually like Mutant Mayhem way better.
Yeah, I especially love the interaction between the characters.
Especially the brothers' dynamic.
The brothers, yeah.
Yeah.
Their
The way-
dialogue was so good. It was hilarious.
Yeah. They were great. The soundtrack.
The soundtrack.
The soundtrack is amazing, and then just again, like you mentioned before, technically, like it was so interesting the way that was drawn.
Yeah.
Everything about that was just. It was almost like it almost felt like reading a comic, didn't it?
A little
like
bit.
If it was, if it was moving, it was almost like. Meshing medias, kind of, but in such a cool way. Like I haven't seen anything like that.
Yeah.
And I think it's unfortunate that didn't get tagged.
Yeah. That's too bad. I mean, it was really, really well done. I've loved that the sequence when they're basically going to all the leads that April provided them, and they're playing that song, and they're just beating up all those different
That
groups and
was
all those
great.
different
Yeah.
locales. And then there's like that one bit where they're sort of like they're all back to back, just fighting, and
Yeah.
the camera's rotating around them,
And it
there's-
switches the scenes.
It switches the scene, so
Yeah.
like suddenly they're beating up the laundromat guys, and suddenly they're beating up the pool hole guys, but they stay the same. But the bodies flying everywhere different.
Yeah.
It was really well done.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I was just thinking of, don't use that word that way. Rat.
Oh,
yeah.
he ratted us out.
Yeah, I mean, the talent, Jackie Chan, Ice Cube.
Freaking
Oh
everything.
my God,
Superfly, yeah.
so good.
Good.
He was so good in that role.
Everything. Sexiest man, Paul Rudd.
All right.
Little lizard dude.
Yeah.
All right, we're basically turning this into another review. Of Mutant Mayhem.
Yeah.
Which, if you haven't seen,
If you haven't seen it,
absolutely
go
go
see
check
it.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, that
The
is
true Oscar award
the
winning
true
movie.
Oscar winner for Best Animated Feature. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Madness.
Mutant
Mayhem.
Mayhem.
I fucked it up the first time we did that review too, didn't I? I kept screwing that up, didn't I?
Yeah, I remember there was it was either that one or some other review where you just kept saying it.
No, it was Mutant Mayhem because
It was
she
Mutant Mayhem,
she
yeah.
tried to lock in and be like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant
Something.
Madness.
Madness. I kept saying madness, I think. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Or Puss in Boots.
Oh God.
Let's not revisit that. That's 2 years ago. That was like a different Oscar telecast.
Wait, Mom.
What?
I just remembered something.
What would you like to add, my girl?
You like Luca. You gave Luca a higher rating than this movie.
Did I?
How the hell do you remember that?
Because I'm pretty sure Mom gave it like an 8 or a 9 or something.
Maybe I did. I don't remember.
So,
I don't even remember what
right
we
now,
had for
you're
dinner
full
last
of
night.
crap.
All right.
No, tone it down, nephew.
Nephew.
Is that the new cousin?
You're not unk status.
Wrong status.
All right. Hey, what do you think, Olive G? I mean, you didn't see all the offerings last year, but would you say that Nimona is better than Elemental?
Yes.
Would you say Nimona is better than Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse?
No.
No. Would you say that Spider-Man is better than Mutant Mayhem?
No.
No is correct. That is the correct answer,
We're
by
all
the
in
way.
agreement.
We're all in agreement.
Actually, it's kind of like equal. Like I feel like they're both good actually.
They are both good, but I feel like Mutant Mayhem. I said that right? Yeah.
Yes. Congratulations.
I feel like Mutant Mayhem just passes it. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it just passes it because it's a complete story. But like,
It was
I
also
feel
new, like Dad
when-
said. It was also just really, really new.
Yeah, the animation
But
style
I
was
feel
amazing.
like if the second Spider-Verse, the second part of Spider-Verse comes out,
Beyond.
that like
When is that,
it's
this
gonna
year?
be amazing.
Next year.
Postponed.
Really? Oh, because of the writer's
I
strike.
think it's 2020. I don't know. Like they hadn't even started writing it like back then. I don't know if it's 2025, 2026.
So, question for you guys. And so, instead of having two movies, is it better to just have one, you think? Or
I think so.
is it better to have the movies released closer together?
If you do the 2-part movies, I think it's best to have them close together because like if you space them apart too much, it's kind of like, oh, the first one's faded and
forgot,
like
yeah.
there's kind of like less hype around it. And sometimes you might just like lose enthusiasm. Like I remember we would watch season 1 of a show and I'd be so excited for season 2 and then season 2 would come out so much later and I'd just be like, I don't want to watch this anymore.
Yeah, I feel like I lost momentum with like Umbrella Academy.
That's exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I really.
I mean, that's just one. I mean, Shadow and Bone,
Oh, yeah, we never went back. But that
we
one
never
got
went back.
discontinued, so I don't really want to.
Loki. We haven't watched Loki.
Yeah, we didn't see that last
Oh,
season,
yeah.
right?
I mean, that wasn't the same for Demon Slayer. You guys still want to watch that?
I thought you guys watched Demon Slayer.
We did.
We did.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that remains like consistent. But
The
that's
sparks
because
have never faded.
Well, no, that's not true because that not Finding Neverland. What is it called?
promise.
The Promised Neverland.
We
You
were,
guys,
we were excited to watch season 2, and then it was ass. It was really part of me. It was very bad.
it's okay. It's okay. What about? Did you watch Blue Eyed Samurai with the kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me.
What
and
did you
Dad
guys?
watching it.
Did you guys
That was
like
great.
that?
That was really
I
good.
look
Is
forward
there
to.
gonna be
I
a
look
season
forward
2?
to another season.
Yeah, I actually want to.
Unless they discontinue it.
Who knows when
Start
that's
Olivia.
gonna happen? Yeah.
What is that? A Prime show?
That's on Netflix.
Netflix.
That's Netflix.
Imagine if they discontinue.
Quiet right now.
Yeah, because we liked Paper Girls,
That was on Prime
The
though.
girls.
but
yeah.
they screwed
They
that over.
discontinued
It was
did.
just
that
one
didn't even
season.
last two. Like most
Yeah.
of the time, they released 2 seasons.
Right, and then they screw them over. But then
Yeah.
I read a Twitter thread that basically said the reason they do that is because once
After
a show
2 seasons,
after
they have
2
to start,
seasons,
like, paying or something.
yeah, they
and
start
don't
have
wanna
to.
do that. You know what's funny? They
That's
like
so
they
shite.
cancel good shows after 2 seasons and then give Big Mouth another season.
Yeah.
All right, we're
We're all over the
Veering
place.
we're all
very
over the
far.
place. Let's say goodnight.
And that's it from us, and we will bid everyone
Smells
a.
like broccoli.
Oh my God! Good
Easy.
night, everybody.
Either that or like tomatoes. Or
Oh,
Good
you
night.
Turn the review off right now.
something.
Good night.
Good night.